I've made models for about 40 years or more, and I've recently come upon a new gauge, a relatively new gauge of model railway called T gauge. T for tiny, the tiniest model railway gauge in the world. There are some smaller, but these ones are real trains. They actually run on real tracks with real tiny little motors, tiny little bogie wheels, etc. There's a certain impossibility about the size of these things. They are microscopic, and nothing prepares you for the fact that these things are really small. At my age, I'm in my 60s, these things are too small, okay? So there's a limit to what I can do. I would love to do some modelling on the actual rail stock and on the locomotives, and I purchased some kit bashing locomotives to have a look at doing that, but to be honest, without a very high powered microscope or very good eyesight and steady hands, I don't think that is doable. However, I did buy a simple oval loop with a Hankyu set from T gauge, a Japanese commuter train, beautifully detailed, absolutely beautifully detailed. And I decided to make a simple oval. Too complicated, I wanted a few tunnels in it, of course. And to complicate it further, I wanted a split layout where half of the layout would be industrial and half of the layout would be agricultural. Now, it's really trying to fit too much into one layout. A big mistake, very amateur mistake. But I persisted with the design. If I were to build another layout, I think I would build either one or the other, possibly an industrial or an urban layout. We shall see. I started the basic layout modelling in Airboard, that's expanded polystyrene, and put together some basic layers, etc. It looked terrible, absolutely terrible. But when it had solidified and dried, I was able to carve into the damn thing and start putting some shape on it. I painted this. This is only a rough paint onto some masking tape surfacing, just to see where I am. This is by no means the end surface, but this is just to tell me how the topography is working or not working. And in many places here it is not working. I have to be very conscious that a tiny little track has to go onto this layout. So got to keep everything level. I'm proposing to put a few bridges into this. The bridges are going to have to be level as well. They're going to have to be well seated, and the bridges are going to have to incorporate the T gauge track if my model is to run through the bridges and across the bridges. So there's a fair bit to do as we move forward. Where I am at the moment is just prepping the two tunnel areas, one at each end. I want to do one end arched tunnels, and the other end I want to do a box girder tunnel. I'm printing all of these sets in PLA, just using a 3D printer. And over 1 month I've printed quite a number of different sets. I'm not going to be able to use all of these on the layout, of course,